Howdy, this is Bob Stolzberg with the CenturyLink Cloud Ecosystem team. Today I'm going to show you how to quickly and easily deploy the Acumatica ERP software solution on the CenturyLink Cloud platform. And I'm also going to share with you some tips and best practices in the process. Before we get started, you need to know that there are two places that you can go to get help and the detailed information you need to successfully deploy the Acumatica ERP software. There's a knowledge base hosted on the CenturyLinkCloud.com website, as well as on the Acumatica Developer Network website. So if you need anything, go here. We've got some step-by-step guides that walk you through how to do everything and some important notes to ensure that you have a successful deployment. The first thing you're going to want to do is log into the CenturyLink Cloud portal, and then you're going to want to figure out where you want to deploy the Acumatica ERP solution, which data center. As a best practice, you might want to create a new network or VLAN for that Acumatica ERP VM to reside on. So if you want to do that, browse over to the networks section and then choose the specific data center that you want to deploy to. In this case, I want to go to Seattle because we're rooting for the Seahawks. And we're going to create a new VLAN. What's going to happen is you click that Add Network button and it's going to send that VLAN to a queue to go build it and deploy it. I'm going to make note though, I have an existing VLAN that ends in .149, so any new one won't end in .149. Okay, so I've created a new VLAN in the data center that I want to deploy this Acumatica ERP solution to. The next thing to actually do that is to go to the Blueprints library. And once you click on that, it's going to load all of the different blueprints that are available. And let's find the Acumatica one by simply searching for Acumatica. It's pulled it up. Notice that it's going to deploy one server that's got 2 CPUs, 4 gigs of memory, and has a cost associated with it of $131. Let's click on it and actually deploy this thing. Click the Deploy Blueprint button, and what that's going to do is spin up the VM and then install the software. Let's go through this little wizard together so that you can have a successful experience deploying this Acumatica ERP blueprint. First thing we do is enter a secure password. This is your server administrator password, and you need to remember it because you'll need it a little bit later. Select the group of server you want to put this VM in. If you haven't created a group, maybe just choose default group. Select the VLAN that you want to put it on. Remember earlier I said that the old one was .149 and we created a new one. Well, because there was only one, this must be my new one. And I'm going to set my DNS to I'm going to set it to Google's DNS in this case, but set it to your favorite public DNS provider if you don't know what you're doing. Or you can just use the CenturyLink ones, but I would suggest typing in the Google DNS for your primary. Okay, notice here where it's going to deploy a server called WA1ECO ERP SRV. And then that's the cool thing. That's your server name right there. It's going to add some storage to it. It's going to install the .NET Framework 4.5 version on Windows. And then it's going to install SQL Server on here. Here's where you really need to pay attention, okay, because there are some options that you have to fill in correctly if you want this to deploy. We're going to type in the same server administrator password that we typed in up above. You can choose your SQL version if you don't know what you're doing or you don't know. Just choose the standard, the default. Here's really important things that you need for the SQL features. You need the database engine services. You need the full text search, and you need the management tools. Keep the analysis service mode as multi-dimensional, but totally delete the SQL instance name. That is very important. I repeat, delete the SQL instance name. Keep scrolling down and keep the defaults for installing IIS. And then when you get to the Acumatica installation options, where it says install Acumatica 5, here's what you want to input for your SQL server name. Put localhost. Now you can set your SQL Server Administrator user password as something different than above, or you can keep them all the same. And then leave the add mapped IP address to the default. So again, all you really had to change on here, besides adding passwords and DNS information, the critical pieces to the Acumatica ERP are selecting the SQL features of database engine services, full text search, management tools, keep all the other defaults except delete the SQL instance name. It needs to be blank. And then you will put localhost in the SQL server option under the install Acumatica. Do those things. Keep all the other defaults. Hit the next button once you are done. You will see a confirmation page giving you all of those details. Everything looks good. I'm going to hit the deploy blueprint button. What's going to happen now is this job is going to go to our queue, and the CenturyLink Cloud Automation Engine is going to go deploy that blueprint. It's going to build the server, and then it's going to install the software. So at this point, go get a cup of coffee, come back, and you'll be ready to log in to the Acumatica ERP solution on the CenturyLink Cloud platform. Here's a quick snapshot of my queue. We'll be back once it's all done. We are back. It's been about 15 minutes and our blueprint is running. It is on the last step of adding a public IP address to the server so that you can access it. What this blueprint did was amazing. With just a couple clicks of a button, 15 minutes later, this automation engine of the CenturyLink Cloud platform went out and built the server. It added some storage, 50 gigs. It installed the Windows .NET Framework 4.5. It installed SQL Server. It installed Windows IIS 8. And it configured all of those things to work with the Acumatica software, which it also installed and configured. So we're waiting for it to complete here with this last step of adding a public IP address. It's done. And you know it's done because it will tell you everything will look green 100%, but you will also get a confirmation email. And here's what you do next, folks. When you get that email, open it up, click the link to the server, and go and capture the public IP address for the server that we just deployed. Or if it's all good and you're impatient like me and you don't want to wait for the email, just click the link at the top of the queue page and it will take you to the server information of the new box it just built. And from here, grab the public IP address. And here's what you want to do. Once you grab it, you go to that URL /Acumatica ERP. Drum roll. Kill me, Smalls. All right. There we go. Maybe my internet was just a little wonky there. Now, as you can tell, we've got an Acumatica ERP portal to log in with, and based on the documentation on the website, I'm going to log in with a default username and password, admin, and then setup, everything in lowercase. And once I do that, it's going to ask me to change the password. Awesome. Change your password, click sign in, and magically you'll be able to log in and see the portal. Here's an example of the email that I got. I told you, when it's done, it'll send you an email, and you could click this link, and it will take you to your server where you got the public IP address that you then logged in with to get to your Acumatica ERP dashboard. It's pretty easy, folks. Couple clicks of a button, 15 minutes later, you're logged in and working. This is Bob Stolzberg with the CenturyLink Cloud Ecosystem team. I appreciate you watching the video. Please feel free to leave some comments and check us out on CenturyLinkCloud.com. Thanks, and have a great day.